I thought we would talk about the secret to weight loss. I think it's really important, and I think it'll be part of the series of Don't Let Them Break You, because we can go from this, sitting at home all day and being very unhappy, or to this, active, strong, able to kind of reach your life goals, especially over the age of 50. So thank you for being here today on Doc in the Den, everybody. And I take this advice myself. I have lost lots of weight, especially after having kids. But I also prescribe weight loss medication. And I actually heard from a patient today, which really inspired me to make this video because I just gave her some really simple advice. And she messaged me today. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm down 12 pounds just from what you told me to do. Because I do have those patients that do not want to spend a lot of money on weight loss drugs, the weight loss injections, even though there's a lot of promising information coming out on the low dose or microdosing these medications. And I guess I wanted to put it on this channel. This is more casual channel versus I have that Vitalize Health Partners channel where I talk about just medical things. Just because I feel like I wanted this to be a little bit more personal, like what I've gone through with weight loss. And so, okay, most of you know I'm in my 50s, to be exact, 57, and I am proud of that. I'm going to say that because, again, I say it all the time. What's the alternative, right? I've lost many dear friends I've grown up with, and so I'm just happy to be here, right? Happy to be here. But, I think about I ran into this other channel because I think about getting older. Like, I want to be healthy in my 80s and 90s. My mother is in her 80s and she's just doing so great. She's such an inspiration. But have you seen that channel, Adventures, like with a van, Adventures over 50? I'll link her channel here. If you haven't seen it, she used to live in a van and now she's in an apartment. She's a lovely lady and she is helping to kind of like take care of her mom, even though her mom's in assisted living now. Her mom is 90, what'd she say, 95 years old? Oh, sharp as a tack, cute as a bug, doing really well. But she's at a healthy weight, at least from what I can see on the video. I don't know for sure. Have you ever noticed when you walk around and you see obese people, you don't really see old obese people walking around? Have you ever noticed that? And so I thought I would just share, being in healthcare for decades, things that don't cost any money. And these are little pearls you may not know about getting from this to this, really. Yeah, so I thought this would be good for that. Okay, are you ready? You ready to get your notebook out and your pencil, take some notes? By the way, these are all safe, effective things. Oh, and before I go into each one, how many are there? There's about 10 things I'm going to go over. And this is going to be really awesome because anyone can do this. And I've done all of them myself. But one thing I've kind of talked about with patients, and then I'll get into the list, is, so yes, the weight loss shots, I prescribe them too, I know. They are all the rage. The cool thing is they do reduce high blood pressure. They even help promote brain health. Well, yeah, because when you're reducing blood sugar and reducing weight, you are going to get healthier. You are. But I was like, okay, but why are these things working? Now, there are some chemical things going on with these peptides. I shouldn't go too sciencey on this channel. So, okay, I'm not going to go into the science. I'll save that for my other channel, right? But why are these people losing weight? Well, I'll tell you what they're doing. They are drastically reducing the amount of food they are eating a day, right? I just did it the other day myself. I was like, okay, I'm going to have a few cups. I don't usually have a few cups of coffee. Let's see. I'm on cup number 2 right now. Yeah. But I'll allow myself to have a little bit more coffee throughout the day as my treat. I even have to switch to decaf so I don't get palpitations. That's one thing I do. But I'll do an experiment and I will eat very little just for one day. Like, I'll have my coffee. I might have like one piece of toast or, what did I do the other day? It was very little. Oh, I had like, I don't know, like a half a turkey sandwich and that's all I had. Well, yeah, the next day the scale was lower because I know what my patients are telling me they're eating. I'm not going to go into the science and what they should be doing, but think about that for a second. Those weight loss shots are making people just not care about food. So they are drastically reducing their calories. Okay, now let's get into the easy things, the secret to weight loss, if you want to know. So what do I tell my patients? Number one, I tell my patients, because I know their medical history, the medications they're on, what their body can handle. So I'm not telling you to do this, but I am saying to reduce your calories. Now, depending on my patient, I tell them not to go below 900 calories, no matter who they are, because I don't want them to lose muscle mass. The things with these diet injections is, especially, and I don't want to name it because, again, don't want big pharma knocking at my door because I want to live a long life, uh, is muscle mass loss. Yeah, people can lose up to 40% of their muscle mass, reducing calories greatly. So I always say, it's so important to get your protein. But okay, here's the number one thing: increasing your fiber. Yeah, fiber, soluble fiber intake. Fiber makes us feel full. We don't get hungry throughout the day. It's good for your liver and your gallbladder. It's good for your cholesterol. It's good to reduce your risks of colon cancer. It's good to help you poop every day. I love fiber, and it really is one of the secrets of weight loss. So you've got to look at the fiber you're eating. So for example, I don't know if I really like these examples: oats, flax seeds, psyllium husk. Yeah, those are example of fiber. But if you're trying to lose weight, I'm not saying to go and eat a bunch of oats, right? But soluble fiber, it forms, God, it's like this gelatinous kind of clump. I know that sounds gross, in the gut. And that slows your digestion down, and it increases the hormones, get ready for this, called GLP-1. It's like getting a free dose of Ozempic, eating fiber. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, GLP-1, Ozempic, Wegovy, all those semaglutides, GLP-1s, they are natural peptide mimickers. They are. Your body already does this. So eating fiber. Yeah. And I always like to subscribe to that little fact of rule of 5, where it's like, okay, I'm looking at a package. It's a package of bread. And the bread might say it's got 30 grams of carbs. That's a lot. Your goal, again, I'm not saying for you to do this because I'm not practicing medicine. I'm saying what I do with me and the patients that I know, their medical history and stuff. And I'm like, well, rule of 5, do not go over 5 grams of carbs a day. And so when you look at a piece of bread that has 30 grams of carbs, I'm like, well, I can't eat that. Well, wait, no. You might be able to look at the amount of fiber in it. Oh, it says it has 6 grams of fiber, 30 grams of carbs. Now divide it. 6 divides into 30 5 times. Oh, all of a sudden, that piece of bread only has 5 grams of fiber. And I don't mean 5 grams of fiber for the entire day. I'm just saying to my patients, please don't eat more than 5 grams of fiber throughout the foods you are eating throughout the day. Does that make sense? Rule of 5. Rule of 5. I'm telling you what, it is the secret to weight loss. I'm not kidding. Now, you may have a medical condition, diverticulosis, or you've got issues right now with celiacs, or so you might have a medical condition where you cannot do this right now, or you might have just recently had surgery and you're not supposed to have a lot of fiber right now. You can't just go out and do this. You want to clear all this through your doctor. But fiber. Okay. Did you know that? Yeah. All right. Here's the other little pearl: drinking water. Did you know if you drink 500 mils, right? So that's about like this much in a water bottle, 30 minutes before meal. And by the way, it should be cold water. It enhances what's called thermogenesis, your ability to basically raise your metabolism so you burn calories more efficiently. And in studies, it's shown that people tend to eat 100 calories less in a meal when they drank that much water 30 minutes before a meal. Plus, it's like such a good idea to stay hydrated. Your discs, your joints, your brain, your heart, your body needs water. It does. And so there's that. I think that's a really good little pearl. Okay, now let's talk about sleep. Do you know if you don't get to bed by 10 p.m., you are going to have more of like an uphill battle being healthy and losing weight? Why? Because between the hours approximately of 10 p.m. and midnight, your body releases hormones that kind of help heal and protect your body. And they're called growth hormones, right? It also, the body, it can balance your hormones. So what do I mean by that? Like if someone is staying up after midnight, 1 a.m., like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., etc., and I worry about teenagers and stuff like this. I lecture my own son about this all the time because he wants to stay up late playing video games because it's the summertime. Like, I get it, but I do tell him, okay, do you want to get to your healthiest potential? You want to build muscle? You want to get tall? Because he's a teenager. I'm like, you have to get to bed on time because of growth hormone, right? So tell your kids that. But poor sleep, getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night disrupts these hormones called leptin and ghrelin, and those hormones make you feel full at night. And if you're not getting good sleep, you are going to be craving more food the next day. You might even be binge eating. Isn't that fascinating? I remember when I was younger and I wanted to lose 15 pounds. I was a lot younger, and I wanted to do it in a quick period of time. And so I was working out every day. Again, I was a lot younger. I can't work out every day now because I'm older. But I would get to bed at 7 p.m. and not wake up until about 7 a.m. because I didn't want to be tempted to eat. I purposely went to bed early. But little did I know, I was actually helping my body get healthier and heal, because your body and your brain needs sleep to get all the crud of the day out, right? There's a lot of things that happen when you don't want to have food in your stomach. You don't want to be digesting all night long, right? You don't. Now, if you have a form of diabetes and you're supposed to have a little protein snack before bed, that's a different situation than what I'm talking about. So, okay, I think we've gone into that enough. Okay, the next little pearl, it has to do with stress and cortisol. So do you know when you're stressed out, cortisol, which is a stress hormone, elevates in the blood? Well, cortisol raises blood sugar, which makes us put on fat and keep the fat on. You start getting that spare tire around your middle. Now, it's not all from cortisol. It can be from menopause too, because hormones change. But can I say, it's like a teeter-totter. When cortisol and insulin go up, estrogen and progesterone go down, right? But then, so for example, with like hormone replacement therapy, estrogen and progesterone go up, cortisol and insulin go down. And that's why a lot of us in menopause gain weight around the middle, because our progesterone and estrogen's going down. Here's the teeter-totter. And guess what? Insulin's going up, the fat storing hormone, but cortisol goes up also. Because I feel like, I'm over 50, so I'm menopausal. I feel like when we're menopausal, do you notice that you worry more, you're anxious more? Things that used to bother you are now bothering you. Yeah, that's the progesterone effect, because progesterone, I always call it the laid back hormone. Yeah, we do get a little bit more anxious. And I think too, because our bodies are getting weaker, we can't do what we used to. And that's why I'm like, don't let this break you. There are things you can do about it, right? Yeah, there's things you can do. So, okay, we want to reduce stress, right? Because cortisol promotes fat storage around the middle. We don't want that. And so it's super easy, you guys. 5 to 10 minutes of sitting there, like even right now. When I take a deep breath, I instantly feel more relaxed. And it's weird. You'll go throughout the whole day and not take a deep breath. Have you ever noticed? Have you ever noticed you do that? But just sit there and just take a few deep breaths. I immediately already feel relaxed in this video doing that. So take a deep breath with me, right? So, okay, doing these deep breathing sessions. So a lot of people recommend 5 to 10 minutes of just sitting in a quiet room. Maybe you have some quiet music on and you're doing some deep breathing. Maybe you do that right before bed. But studies have shown it can lower cortisol by up to 20 to 30%. So that way overnight, you're burning fat more efficiently. Free of charge. You're welcome. I'm serious. Yeah. Those of you who are already ahead of the curve, if you do yoga, you already know about this. Or if you're doing meditation and mindfulness, which, those of us that are busy, I don't always do that every night. But yeah, it's a little secret. So try that. Okay. So let's see. Ooh, this is really cool. So you know how we can't exercise like we used to when we were younger? Yeah, I remember I could work out every day in a month and be down 10 pounds. That just does not work anymore. What used to work doesn't work anymore. Plus, I find I always need a recovery day. when I work out. Yeah, because even sneezing, I've said it before, I almost blew a disc just by sneezing. And I feel I have to move more carefully now too, because one wrong move and my back goes out, right? So here is the nice little pearl. Do you know that you don't have to kill it at the gym for an hour? No, you don't. If you can do it, hey, more power to you. That's great. But for those of us that want to lose some weight and we're not as strong as we used to be, and this works for everybody, it's small increases in daily movement. For example, if someone can even just work initially 3 minutes and then a couple days later work up to 5 minutes, the goal is getting to 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. So that could be walking. It could be taking the stairs if you can do that. It can be like a structured exercise that, you're watching a video on YouTube or you're swimming. It's 10 to 15 minutes a day. Anyone can do that. And do you know what you can also do? Well, again, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying what I do and what my patients do. People can break those time increments up. But again, you have to clear this with your doctor. Don't just go out and exercise. Like, is it safe for you to exercise? Well, being a human, I want to be able to walk until I'm elderly. I don't want to be bedridden, bedbound, or in a wheelchair. So again, if you can be active and walk, and if it's right for you, and if your medical condition says it's okay for you, you can break up that 10 to 15 minutes in little increments. So like me, I still have a desk job and I see patients, but I'm at a desk a lot. And especially if I'm talking to someone for an hour, I have to remind myself to get up, go outside, walk around, and then come back, right? And yeah, all those times break up. But I am a little bit more fit and strong. So like at the end of the day, I can go ride my bike for 30 minutes because I've been working on it. But I'm saying is everyone has the opportunity to like up their activity. So that's another little tip. Through a study, and this is from Science, it's literally the journal called Science in 2005. They said just by upping 10 to 15 minutes of activity a day can burn 200 all the way up to 500 extra calories a day without structured exercise, leading to 10% more weight loss over time. Yeah, there you go. So figure that out. Okay. Here's the next one. Do you remember when your mother told you, stop eating so fast? Chew your food. Yeah, that actually has weight loss benefits. So if people eat slowly and chew their food thoroughly, you are basically extending your meal duration by 20 to 30%, taking 20 chews per bite. So you put the bite of food in your mouth, count in your head until it's a habit. 20 chews. It's actually so much better for your gut, by the way, and absorbing nutrients. It really, really is. Especially of those of us that are older, over 50, we don't make as much gut acid. So you really want to chew your food. Plus, it does promote satiety, like how full you'll feel. And you won't just inhale and blow through your meal so quick. And then you're like, I want to chew on something else because I'm so stressed out of the day. Like, what else can I have? No. Practice this. It's like brushing your teeth every day. You do it every day, right? 20 chews per bite. Do you know this also signals the satiety hormones to go up? So you're going to feel full faster and you're going to be like, wow, I still have so much more to eat and I'm not even done. That really, really does work. It has shown through studies, it reduces your total intake by 10 to 15% per meal. Yeah, so that's real. Okay, the next big pearl. You've all heard of intermittent fasting. So what I do for myself, hold on, I have to take a sip here because I've been in a breath, right? This is a good one, you guys. We were always told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Now, this does not include the diabetics out there because they have to eat. I won't go into why right now. You know why if you have diabetes, but I myself only do coffee for my breakfast because I want to extend my fasting period. So like when I go to bed, so say I'm in bed for 8 hours and then I'm not eating, I usually don't eat until about 1 or 2 in the afternoon now because I'm in the habit. So I'm definitely getting 12 hours in a row of fasting. And I know how important that is for my digestion, for my body to heal itself, for my cells to take a break and to repair. right? Because if your body's busy digesting, it's putting all this energy towards that, and it can't put its energy over here, like detoxing, repairing tissues, cells kind of cleaning themselves out, in a simple way of explaining it, okay? But the other little key is the first meal of the day should have adequate protein. Okay, so yeah, this is easy. Studies have shown 20 to 30 grams of protein in the first meal of the day. So for example, like eggs, Greek yogurt, things like that. Boosts the ability of your body being able to burn fat, and it reduces your calorie intake because you get full faster by 200 to 300 calories. And it improves appetite control. This has been studied. So I know I'm guilty of this. Sometimes my first meal of the day is like a high fiber piece of bread, but it's really would be better if I just did, because I'm not a full vegetarian, even though I don't eat a lot of meat, but like it would be better for me if I just did an egg, which I'm a little bit of allergic to eggs, but very mild. So an egg and some cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, maybe a little bit of salmon. And then I wait to have my carb, for my snack. Then I'll have my high fiber piece of toast with some no sugar strawberry or blueberry preserves on it, maybe as my snack later in the afternoon, right? But the key is your first meal should be prioritizing protein. That way you're getting your protein in, and then the rest of the day, if you're like, well, for dinner, I'm just going to have a salad, and you didn't put any protein in it. Well, it's okay. You already got your protein for the day, right? Okay, well, what's all this stuff about cold plunges? What is the deal with that, right? I don't mind doing cold plunges, but I hate being cold. So for me, I don't do that. But what do we know about the studies? Brief exposure to cold. So about 10 to 15 minutes, and get this, it only has to be about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not that cold. It's not that cold. Even at that mildly cold temperature, it activates brown fat. That's the fat that's really hard to burn. It's deep in your abdomen. And it can help increase this energy expenditure from using up this brown fat by 15 to 20 hours, 15 to 20% for hours after exposure to the cold. But here's the catch. Benefits are very modest unless it's consistent. So those of you that have to walk into a walk-in freezer or fridge at work, yeah, you're lucky. You're burning your brown fat. Or those of you that do the cold plunges, yeah, you're burning brown fat. But that's why I do like to drink very cold water. And I guess I have to reconsider. At my gym, there's a cold plunge, and I'm like, oh, I just don't want to get in that, because I love being in the sauna and the jacuzzi because it's really good for my back. And I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to get more cold. Well, maybe a cold shower's not long enough. Well, I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out too, because I don't get enough cold exposure. And that's a big one. Yeah. Okay. So what do you think of that? Did you already know all these things? And if you forgot, isn't it interesting if you incorporate all these things? And these things are really safe. Again, check with your doctor, right? Because I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but they're really safe things that don't cost you any money. And I'm not even going to go into nutrition and meals. That could be, I'll do that on my other channel. So I hope this wasn't too medical. I just wanted to be like, yeah, don't let life get you down. Have these things in your mind like, oh yeah, this is the first day. I'm just going to like really take better care of myself and do these simple, free things for myself. Yeah. Okay, everyone. Thanks for being here.